Dude, today I was thinking about how over the past 3 years since we started our businesses, we really have gone through a lot of seasons and a lot of, just ups and downs, valleys, hills, climbs and all that. And I was just thinking about how the entire time has felt like such a grind. And so I want to talk about today, like some days you wake up and you're doing this stuff. We run, I have an insurance agency, Brent has an insurance agency. We're both real estate agents. We got employees and we do a lot of things, but I sometimes wake up and I don't feel like just getting after it that day.
Often.
Like sometimes I wake up and it's like, I'd rather just lay in bed, before the workout or whatever. And it's not necessarily about because I'm about to get up and go to the gym or anything. It's just, I would rather rest than do what I have to do again today. And there's something to be said about getting through that. How do you get through it? Like, I know it happens.
Well, I mean, the thing is, it's going back to what we stand on is setting goals for yourself. And we always talk about being committed to those goals. So a part of the grind that you're talking about is every day you're not going to feel like $1 million. Every day you're not going to feel like going out there and doing what you got to do. But it's how committed are you to what you're trying to do? Because for me, what I've got to do is I just got to get up and get going and show up even when you don't feel like showing up.
That's
and
huge.
Good things will start to happen for you. So it's critical that one, you set goals, and then two, that you're committed to those goals and the actions that it takes to accomplish those goals.
I always have thought about things as, actions or habits that you're trying to create. I read a book a long time ago, and we're going to talk a ton about reading books because it's something that has really helped my career, something that's really developed my mind, helped me to see someone else's perspective and get in the habit of seeing someone else's perspective rather than my own. We're going to talk about that a lot. But the fact is that I read this book called Charles Duhigg. It was something about, Power of Habits or something.
Yep.
And then James Clear wrote one called Atomic Habits. And so I always think about it as, if the thing you're wanting to do the next day is, quit this or start this or whatever, just taking a time, like a 20-minute time in your day and just basically making yourself do the new habit. And it takes a certain amount of days, but
it becomes a habit after time. And that's where you try to get into, like for me, going to the gym now.
Or eating better.
I just get up and go to the gym. My diet has been something that I struggled with for years. And now I'm finally to the point where I'm consistently choosing healthier options, and it becomes easier and easier. And that's with anything that you do. And for us, our main goal here is to inspire people. So for me, my story, not to go down too much of a rabbit hole, but I started with no college education working for the city of Dallas in the sewer department, and I hated it, man. The first week I was there, I wanted to quit so bad because I was in just a crap pit digging out old crap to just lay it easily. It wasn't a pretty day, and I wanted to get out of that so fast. And for somebody out there that is in a job that they don't necessarily love, there is a way out. There's a brighter future. And for us, we really try to empower people to choose the entrepreneurial route, because man, the freedom that we have now has truly changed my life. Like Alex said, there's trials, there's tribulations, there's ups and downs, and that's for any successful business. I don't care who it is. It hasn't been easy for that person to find success. So the main thing that our goal is here is to motivate you to rise above that stuff. And something that he said is the reading of the books, the setting the goals, the creating good habits. That's what you've got to get to in your life. Wherever you're at today, you've got to make that decision. You've got to have that click, that moment where it changes for you, where I'm going to pave my own way. I'm going to choose what I'm going to do for a living. So, at some point I had that click for me, and I started seeking self-development. And I know your story is similar. So how has self-development played in your life? Because I know for me, it's like changed everything for me.
I mean, it's everything to my life, man. I try to wake up every day and get that 1% better. I know we talk about it, but it's really just, if you can look at the end of a day or reflect back, and there's two things I always think is like, at least I got better today, and at least there's another day. Because sometimes at the end of the day, dude, the day sucked.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, sometimes you get done with the day, and did I just get hit in the stomach because of this day? Did I just get hit in the stomach because of this day? And it's like painful, but at least there's tomorrow, and at least you may have gotten better. Yeah, so the self-development for me, it really started when I was 22. And, I had always kind of liked reading growing up, but I went to a bonfire, and one of my friends there was like, I can't believe you're still here hanging out with us doing this. Same thing we're always doing. And I kind of took that to heart, and I started thinking about my life, and I was like, yeah, I probably should start, you know, trying to change some things. And, you know, I started diving into the books and everything, and it really helped take my mindset to that next level. And because I was changing my mind, it started to show me different opportunities that weren't there before because I didn't know to look for them. Yeah. So the development, and I mean, he had mentioned earlier, we're going to talk a lot about success and like grinding it out and how to get there and doing things, but I also want to add that, dude, I respect every single person. Like, if you're working at McDonald's or Dairy Queen right now, the world takes all kinds. So absolutely. I think that self-development is just that thing to get you from, you know, McDonald's or whatever it is to the next phase of your dream, to the next step.
Stepping stones.
Yes, stepping stones.
The sewer department for me was a stepping stone. And, you know, a lot of times in those jobs, when you experience pain, that's what leads you to the next level, essentially. So for me, I know the pain in my life led me to the self-development because I was an idiot in school. I was not a good student. I only went to college for one semester, was not a good student, but eventually I had so much pain that I was like, man, I really got to try to figure something out. Yeah. So that's what led me to the self-development. And I know we share that in that we love books, we love podcasts, we love any kind of information that makes me better. I want it. So to the person that's working in a job that they don't want, embrace the grind. Embrace the grind and start. You know, we're so fortunate now that there's a million videos that you can watch. There's a million books out there of people who have done it. And you can consume that info at a level that we've never been able to consume, like ever. Like, this is the best time ever, I feel like, to develop yourself.
It is.
Period.
And basically, if you make learning your obsession, there's no way you don't get better each and every day. Mm-hmm. Like, learning at this point in my life is such a habit. But I remember when I was first started in insurance when I was 22, and, you know, I would wake up and some days I hated that job. And the fact was that it was a delayed gratification work in my life. But anyways, I would wake up and I would hate going there. But I remember listening to Grant Cardone, and he was like, Uncle G, he was like, dude, if you hate your job because you're not making enough money, well, that's your fault. You need to shut up and start like working at your job. Like, you need to start working your job. And I was like, man, instead of trying to find like 20 different resources outside of my job, why don't I just start trying to be the best at it that I can be?
Which
and
is
man,
being
did that work out,
agent.
dude?
Yep.
That worked out great. So I can't say enough about self-development and like what it's done for me, but I also do want to emphasize that even if you're at a spot that you're not happy with, that place can just be the start or the stepping stone, like he had said, to the next spot for you and to the dream you're trying to live out.
Let that pain take you to the next level. Let that pain of, you know, because you see, we live in a very prosperous country, so it's easy to see. You know, you drive down the road, you're going to go across a nice Escalade, something nice that motivates you, and not necessarily to promote materialistic stuff, but a lot of those materialistic things come from somebody who's worked their butt off to get them. So I've always looked up to people who have been able to acquire wealth, you know, because I see now, you know, coming from the lower middle class, I truly, and this is something that we really want to touch on today, I truly respect people who have grinded, who have embraced the grind, and that's what we want to talk about today. That's the main topic, is of embracing that grind, wherever you're at, whatever you're doing, truly finding something that is a bigger goal and going after it. And it's not going to be easy. You know, we're 3 years into our partnership in the insurance agencies. He's opened up his own now. We've still got ours where he originally worked, but it has truly been a grind for 3 years. But I wouldn't trade it for a thing. No. That's what all these people that have made it, they always, it's funny, they reflect, and they in their videos and their books, they talk about how much fun the grind has been, and I can relate to it, because I wouldn't trade this for nothing. We have gotten so much better in the last 3 years, and it really just all stems from us stepping outside of our comfort zone and 100%. Really taking that pain and using it to go to the next level.
Yeah, and you can't emphasize that pain piece enough, man, because now it's so funny, because the pain, it still hurts, but you know, when I was younger, I would look at it as such a negative thing, but now I know when I feel it that it's me making it to the next level. There's a reason that pain's there. It's sticking me so I can either change, get better, improve something. It's there for a reason. And, you know, going back to what you had said too about the goals, you know, basically we're put on this planet to have desires, you know, and this country is so prosperous, you know, that it gives you opportunity to do kind of whatever you want. in a way. You know, if you want to be someone who cuts hair, you can go to school, you can become a barber. If you want to be someone that owns a restaurant, you can work at a restaurant, you can figure it out, you can open a restaurant. But what I'm saying is desire is just coming from not having what you want, okay? And with not having what you want, that desire is going to cause the pain. And then that pain is going to get you to the next level. It's a cycle, and it's amazing when you let it work.
And there's levels to it. There's truly levels to it, and that's what, you know, I've learned. You know, we do real estate and insurance. That's our main bread and butter. I've been doing real estate for 9 years now. He's been in the insurance world for 7, going on 8 years. And then, you know, like we said, we came together about 3 years ago and got together in the insurance world. And the biggest thing that I can say is that embracing that grind has changed the game for me, because like we said, there's days when it's not fun, but if you can embrace the days that aren't fun and push through them, that's where diamonds are made. That's where you build something that is worth something. You know, the statistic of all the businesses, I don't know the exact statistic, but a lot of businesses don't make it past that first year. And that's because a lot of business owners aren't ready for the grind that they're signing up for. And this is something that I want to say, you know, we love entrepreneurs, we love people that are building their own destiny, but there's a lot to be said about somebody who builds a big life for themselves within an organization. And a lot of people do that. A lot of people have become millionaires because they got in a company that was the right fit for them, and they prosper. I mean, there's people in our company that makes a good living for themselves, and it's just going to keep getting better and better. So what I'm saying is, you don't necessarily have to go start your own business tomorrow. You can embrace the grind of the job that you're in today, and like you said, become an expert in that field.
It's building skill. You need to build your skills.
You have to become valuable to the market.
Amen.
You have to become valuable. And you know, we have so many young guys that work for us that are straight out of high school with no experience. And what we're trying to pour into them is that thought of, man, you control your own destiny within this organization. And there's a lot of organizations out there. So if you're willing to work, man, find you a place. Get out there, get in an organization that has unlimited growth, and truly start developing yourself. I love Jim Rohn. I know you do too, but Jim Rohn always talks about, if you'll work more on yourself than on your job, eventually you'll become so valuable that you're making some big money. So it's all about becoming more valuable to the marketplace. That's the most important thing about anything that you do, whether you want to be in whatever industry that is. Become valuable, and then the checks will come eventually.
And while we're talking about organizations, there are a lot of organizations out there. Basically, develop the skills to where when the opportunity comes for that organization that you actually fit into, that you want to be a part of, you have the skills and are valuable to them to where you can get that job. Because I mean, we interview, like this week alone, I've had 2 interviews and it's Wednesday. So we interview people constantly. And to hear these people tell me like how unhappy they are at a place, like I'm telling you that there is organizations out there rooting for you that will try to help you be successful, that you don't have to feel, you know, the way that you feel in them. And so develop the skills, get out of those, put yourself in a better position for you mentally and for your families.
Mm-hmm. And, you know, I will say that 3 years into owning our own business, 9 years into basically being my own boss, the biggest thing that I could tell you is to try to be good in every area of your life. Don't compartmentalize it. Don't be good at this one part. Because for me, you know, my story, not to bore you, but a couple years ago, business was good, life was good, but my health was bad. I didn't have good health. You know, I wasn't focused on my health. I was more focused on just working, eating a ton of fast food, all this stuff. And then my body started to show it. And that says something. You know, I respect people who are fit and who handle their business and who do these things. I respect them so much because it goes back to embracing the grind. Now my mindset is so focused on, I want to be the best version of myself in every area of my life. I don't want any weak points. I don't want any areas where I could come under attack. And, you know, now I put a focus on my health. I put a focus on everything that I'm doing within my realm of what I'm trying to be. I want to be really good at every area of my life.
And what's crazy is when you focus on things like your health, well, then it makes you have confidence, and it makes it easier to have a better marriage. Brent and I are both married, so it's amazing too how if my marriage isn't going so hot, then everything else starts feeling a little different.
Yes.
You know, and each department or each part of your life is like that. They affect one another. And so that's why it's important for me to wake up every day and be disciplined in where I can be disciplined and try to achieve the best potential of, you know, each department for my life each day. And so I pride myself in being good at that. You know, I pride myself in being able to take on a new discipline and to make that, you know, 20-minute change per each day to become something better. And that's something that's really stuck with me and really helped me over the past, you know, 3 years, but also the past 6 or 7 as we get to these points.
And that's the only reason that our partnership works.
Yeah.
It's because the moment that we met, we'll get into our story later a little deeper, but the moment that we met, we really didn't even know each other that well. And a day later, we were partners in a business because of the self-development, because of our morals aligning in that we both wanted to be better versions, and we saw that. So you can see when somebody's really trying to be better, and you can see when somebody's just going through the motions. So be the other side of that. Be the guy who's constantly trying to get better every single day and is constantly chasing their goals and embracing the grind.
Find those guys that are, the key word you said, committed.
You got to be committed to your goals. But man, if you're still listening to this, I can tell you're hungry, and I know that you're looking to get developed, and I just want to encourage you to keep going. Don't give up. Don't give up. Just keep getting after it every single day, and eventually you're going to start to gain momentum. Eventually that rock's going to start going downhill.
You will see the fruits.
That's right. So we appreciate you, and we just love you. We just love self-development. Our main goal here is to just help you guys to be better versions of yourself. So thank you for tagging along today.